Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Dobby, and welcome you to another Degrassism. You can kind of call it a unofficial Degrassi unpopular opinion, but I don't think it's an unpopular opinion. But anyhow, this is a thing. 11 days ago, I put something on the Degrassi Reddit, and for context, this is being taped on September 2nd, 2024. It says, I think Summer Girls, the season 14 summer movie, actually did have a plot point moved to next class. And I said, everyone says that how that summer movie was the worst because nothing was talked about it in next class. Zoe's need for summer school, Frankie falling for an intern at City Hall, and of course Maya being kidnapped and then have that plot get foiled. But it occurred to me that the Maya kidnapping plot actually did get into next class season 1 somehow. Let me explain. From what I gather about the episode, and I didn't really watch the episode that much, Sig seems to be in Maya's head all through it, sabotaging her lifeguard test, probably because she was with Miles, telling her to tell the music producer that she needs to be with her kids instead of Maya and maybe something else. Instead of Maya, and then maybe something else. It's possible that what Sig did or did not do got into Maya's head, especially in Next Class Season 1, as she sometimes want people's opinions on how to act towards issues and consequently, it makes her flip flop till she's part of the feminist group and a target for Hunter unknowingly. Not to forget that the Ouija board and her wanting to track down Gloria to get her job back. I mean, for Gloria to get her job back, that she still made a mistake, could be perceived as impulses towards trying to help people and avoiding making the same mistakes she did with Cam. Also, if that's true, then she was trying to get past Cam, but everything around her said she wasn't over it and manifested itself in season 3 of Next Class. So I got some comments. Previous magician found out about Next Class with that. Okay, teaching said, yeah, it wasn't part of Next Class. It was the transition from Next Generation to Next Class. And Sly said, Frankie and Winston breaking up and Zoe getting feelings for Grace were both carried to Next Class. And I said, I didn't get the vibe about Zoe about going into Grace from that episode. Thought it was during the first few Next Class episodes. No, it was during the summer episode bit. I'm like, okay. All right, so got that going for everyone. So to explain, so of course everyone knows about how bad Summer Girls that season 14 it was split up into 4 episodes, if you will. It was a 2-hour send off of Next Gen. Now, to explain, in real life, CTV / Much Music was going to get rid of Degrassi. Like Degrassi, it looked like they were done for. They set up the season 14 finale finally as a way of kind of sending off Degrassi and all that. However, things changed, I believe, just before season 14's final episode was released. That meant that, they decided to do a summer movie. And that's when Netflix decided to tell the Degrassi producers, we want something called Next Class. So it would follow a bunch of the characters, like Maya's group, into the final few years of high school and would have 10 episodes a season for 4 seasons. So it'd be 40 extra episodes of Next Class, and it would be a spin-off of Next Generation. I sometimes include it with Next Gen because, Degrassi, it's the same characters and all that. So I go Next Class / Next Gen. And then Next Class season 1 is actually season 15 and all that. But I guess it's a different thing. I made so many videos putting Next Class season 3, for example, being season 17 of Next Gen and all that, because I'm like, they're kind of the same, aren't they? No, I made so many bloopers. Regardless of that, I can't really go back on it. So anyway, so Summer Girls happens and they had the triple plot that Zoe needed to go to summer school to get her grades up, and mostly because of the fact that she got in trouble with the Degrassi nudes thing and all that. So she wanted to ride on Grace's coattails and Winston's too, to go to summer school and all that, so that she can, be okay. But she learns that she needs to be a better person. The fact of the matter is that Zoe has feelings for Grace, and I thought well, Zoe and Grace had the feelings in next class before Zoe moved on to Rasha, but I guess not. So then we also get another plot about Frankie working at City Hall as an intern for her dad, who became mayor in season 14. And she meets this interesting boy. I can't remember his name for some fucked up reason. But anyway, he woos Frankie, and then he wants Frankie to give, what, $10,000 as a ransom because his girlfriend Gloria has been kidnapped. And of course, the main plot was with Maya. So Maya wanted to be a lifeguard and was taking classes and needed to take a final test. With Miles also being a lifeguard too, it seemed that way. However, Sig sees that and basically prevents Maya and throws Maya off so much that she fails the lifeguard test and she can't find a summer job. But then, fortunately for her, she found a nanny job for a music producer. She would babysit their two kids and all that, and maybe get her foot into the music business. Of course, it was found out that Gloria was the one who was going to get the job, but then she got kidnapped. Maya does a fantastic job babysitting the kids, and then they play with a Ouija board, and then all of a sudden, CAM pops up, and Maya brushes off, saying, "Oh, it's just probably just nothing," and it was just Cam. So then, Sig gets into Maya's head again by saying that the the producer should be with her kids and all that. She's putting too much pressure on you, Maya. And then Maya, for some reason, decides to listen to Sig and tells the music producer everything. Like Maya tries to phrase it to be nice and all that, but the music producer doesn't take it that way, and she basically fires Maya. And Maya's upset. She had botched it. I mean, keep listening to Sig. Sig kind of was a jealous prick and all that. Although I don't know how his jealousy would have proven with the music producer. I don't know. But anyway, Maya decides in her infinite wisdom, her quote unquote infinite wisdom, to try to find Gloria and all that, and try to get Gloria the nanny job back because if Maya's fired, she might as well just try to get Gloria her job back so she feels better about herself. Unfortunately, she gets kidnapped, and it turns out that Gloria and the boy actually were working together to extort money from the Hollingsworths and would use Maya as collateral. So using math and using unbelievable strange skills, Zoe, Winston, and a few other people find Maya safe and sound. Thank goodness. Of course, the problem is why didn't they tell the parents? Why didn't they just use the GPS and all that from Maya's phone? Although Maya's phone was probably taken away by Gloria. So, so Frankie doesn't have the $10,000 because she spent it on that Great Gatsby party to try to get into her dad's favor. So she bugs Hunter, her twin, for the money, but then soon learns that she was being duped. Fortunately, though, the money didn't really change hands, so Maya's okay. So what ends up happening is that Maya's safe and sound, and a lot of people were awkward about it. And then Tristan at the end of the episode says, "You think that's different? Wait till the new class comes in." And then it's like they weren't killing Degrassi off. It would have Summer Girls would have been a decent send off for Degrassi, an awkward ending, but Degrassi ends. But no, they went next class. Of course, people didn't realize that. So the fact of the matter with this is, of course, everyone knows about Maya and her camp situation, and that probably did lead to things that Maya was not over Cam in a sense. So let me explain. So in season 12, Cam came into Degrassi for 10 episodes, and Maya fell in love with him. Unfortunately, Sig, being the jealous boyfriend that he seems to be, tries to destroy Maya and Cam's relationship and gets Cam heated. And Maya, for some reason, decides to not protect Cam and blame Cam for everything. I think she was just scared of how Sig, who was in a gang, I think at that time, would pressure her. So she basically, caved under the pressure. Cam gets suspended. He tries to apologize to Maya for everything, and all that. He steals Maya's stuffed doll, Hoot, and wants to give it back to her in front of the school. Unfortunately, Sig sees that, tells Cam to get out of Maya's life forever, not knowing about Cam's issues with being 10 hours away from home, feeling lost, and, having the feelings for Maya and the pressure to perform well on the hockey team. So he does the unspeakable act of killing himself in the J.T. York Memorial Greenhouse. Um, Eli ends up finding Cam's body mutilated. My personal theory is that he probably drank some gun chemicals if they were in the greenhouse, and then he'd slashed himself. It's not that, okay, he just slashed himself. It's possible that he drank the chemicals, then slashed himself because, he could have done multiple things. And as somebody who's been working in a garden center at Canadian Tire for 3 years, past 3 years, I know about toxicity and all that stuff. So, it just appears to me that way. And a lot of people agree with my theory. But the fact of the matter is that, Cam's death affected Maya. She was promiscuous. She was not thinking straight. She did say that Cam was selfish for killing himself, and she had every right to say that, and broke up with her over a text. But Maya still had the feelings for Cam and all that. And then season 14 comes with Miles and his problems. It's apparent that Maya wants to protect Miles. And in some people's minds, not all people's minds, that she wanted to redeem herself for not helping Cam out because she had nightmares of Miles jumping off the balcony and slashing himself with the skate. And Maya realizes that Miles is going to end up at Cam. She tries to explain herself, but people think she's crazy. Maya kind of bit herself in the butt. If she had just said, "Oh, this is all about Cam," and all that, I think people would have helped her, but they just made her look like a laughingstock. So her trying to help Miles in season 14 was just probably a way to try to fix the problems. But in fact, she didn't help Cam. And then when Miles got through past his father, he told Maya to check up on him, and Maya smiles, saying, "Now you're good," and walks away. And I think that she just did her mission and then went back to Sig and all that. And then, of course, with this whole summer movie things, I think that she still had the inability to process things herself, that basically people are telling her what to think and all that. And, it's sick. And I think it was jealous that Maya was going to spend time with Miles. I don't think Maya and Miles would have hooked up. I think Sid was just a jealous prick. So the fact of the matter is that Maya, gets the nanny job and then gets pressured by Sig. And then in season 1, it appears that she's trying to fit in with everyone, but people are telling her different things about being a feminist and all that. And then Maya does something about the washrooms, and then is part of the feminist group that ruins Hunter's chances with the gaming club. And Hunter just blasts off. And then Goldie, even though she's the leader of the feminists and the student council president, basically makes Maya the mouthpiece for the feminists, not realizing that Hunter was going to bring a gun to one of the dances and get Maya. Fortunately, though, Miles cut him off at the pass, and Hunter was put in a psychiatric ward for a couple of weeks. And, Maya in season 2 was okay as a character, but then the bus crash happened, and then she started going through her deep dark path in season 3 of Next Class, which almost ended in tragedy. But it seemed that, with the bus crash, she was upset with Tristan in a coma, which is stupid because Tristan was not a good friend to Maya whatsoever. And then she almost killed herself, and then season 4 was her comeback. So I think that for how bad Summer Girls was, it did prove that Maya's indecisiveness was still there, and that the writers were trying to make that because they didn't read into Emma's problems post season 4. The whole Rick situation and how that made her impulsive, and season 6 and the whole JT stabbing thing. Everyone is mad at Emma for blasting off about this whole thing. But Emma had a right to. I mean, it was at a party that should never have been thrown. It was steps from her home, and someone died. Like, Emma probably felt guilty and didn't know how to tell JT's grandmother. But of course, the guilt manifested in herself and making her trying to make Manny the villain, which We know Manny was definitely not the villain. Emma was. Fortunately, though, Emma and Manny make up at the end, and Emma clings on to Manny, I think, trying to get control and all that. But yeah, so that's my rant about Summer Girls. Take it or leave it. Anyway, I'm Jeff. I'm going to do